This is part 5 of our focus this last month on feeling at home in myself, feeling at home with myself, really connecting. So, the first question we asked and that we looked at was, is it safe to connect with myself? If we look at the definition of trauma, Gabor Mate talks about that trauma is not what happens to us, it's what happens inside of us from what's happening to us. Often we talk about trauma as from the past, and it's certainly a significant part of what we're working with now. And trauma is also something that's happening present day. So it's something that happens throughout our lifetime. And when we have the experience as a child that there's no one here for us who's going to help us to be grounded and feel safe and help us process what happened in a way that feels supportive and in a way that doesn't give us that lasting core deficiency belief of, I'm not safe, it's my fault, there's something bad about me. So that's what drives that feeling of it's not safe to be who I am, it's not safe to be here. So the first thing we always look at when we're looking at trauma and feeling at home in ourselves is, what is the reason or what is the basis or the early experiences that led us to believe and to know in our nervous system that it wasn't safe. So that connecting within and connecting with our past and learning how to support our younger self is part of what we worked with in the next few weeks. So we cultivate a loving relationship with our body. And that is a big process for most of us. We're highly conditioned, much to the benefit of people who make money off us if we don't like our bodies or we feel like there's something wrong. We're highly conditioned not to like our bodies. So, to cultivate a loving relationship with my body is something that doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while to sort through some of that old conditioning. And what we're looking at always is, what is it that's preventing us from knowing and feeling at home with ourselves? So, the conditioning that we have around our body is part of it. The way our nervous system works in our body is part of it. The way the nervous system doesn't respond well to our conscious mind, knowing that we're not back in those circumstances anymore, that we have more agency now. We keep getting dragged back into the past. And we bring our adult self into this whole healing process of connecting now. And then we looked into our feelings, our emotional connection, our heart connection. And can I afford to feel this is the question. And if in our nervous system the feeling is no, I can't afford to feel this. If I feel this brokenness or if I feel this anger at the person who hurt me, or if I feel whatever it is, if we let it in, it's going to be devastating. It's going to be overwhelming. So, that question also is something that's a very deep process of healing. And it's all of the healing is based on our direct experience. In my direct experience, can I sit with this feeling? Can I let it be here? And can I survive that? And this question of, and this knowing of, I'm not alone anymore. In part, that comes through connection with other people. And it starts with connecting with ourselves. That's why we've been working with this theme for the last several weeks, is feeling at home in myself. Part of how we know we're not alone any longer is our own attention. So it's wonderful when we get this from other people as well. And that's a big part of the healing of this community class, is that we connect with each other, we tell each other our truth. And it's based on and it comes from this foundation of connecting within, connecting with ourselves. Notice what you feel like right now, just tuning into that. The five koshas are sheaths or layers in the yoga and meditation tradition. We talk about the five koshas. And these are our layers of being. And we start from the least subtle, the physical body, and go to the most subtle, the bliss, layer of bliss, limited joy and bliss. And these layers cover our light, the light of consciousness, that inner light. So as we move through the physical body, the layer of energy and breath, the lower level of the mind, those are the three layers that cause us the most problems in terms of disconnection. And in terms of if there's something going on in those layers, we get very pulled in. So we're coordinating some of the practices we do, we coordinate with the chakras, the marma points, which are the points that connect our physical body, our energy body, the subtle body. So that would be a practice like 61 points. And as we're doing these relaxation practices, which seem so simple, we bring our focus in and we relax our forehead. We notice the feeling of air in the nostrils. We let our breath become more continuous and smooth. And it does relax our physical body, it does help with our breath. And there's a deeper purpose for this as we develop the ability to put ourselves in perspective, in a sense. So we have a body, we have breath, we have thoughts in the mind, feelings, energy, emotions, sensations. All of that is part of our experience as a human being. And there's more. As we do these simple practices of relaxing our shoulders, letting the upper back soften, what we're also doing is signaling our nervous system it's safe to be here. There's a direct experience that happens over time, that deepens over time, where we overwrite some of the earlier experiences of it's not safe. I have to get out of here somehow. And we overwrite it with the known experience, the direct experience that it's safe to be here. So let's do a little practice around that. Let your eyes close or your gaze be soft. Notice, is there a sense right now in your experience of stillness, of spiritual home, of connection? And when we look into this, our experience is different all the time. There's a theme. Some of us have done enough practice in the body that we're pretty familiar with our body. We can relax and soften fairly quickly and easily. And then sometimes something comes along that disrupts that. And our nervous system is what drives the disconnection or the tension. So it's not like we're doing something wrong. Notice right now, what's your experience? Is your body relaxed? Can you bring your attention into your body in a way that's comfortable? What's your experience right now? Purely on the level of your physical body, the Annamaya Kosha, your bones, your muscles, your physical body. Can you soften your body? Can you feel a sense of safety right now in your body? Like it would be okay for me to let this awareness of my physical body to move into the background. Or is there some concern there? No, right now I've got a lot of pain in my body someplace, or I notice that I'm feeling anxious right now. One of the ways that we could work with that is to soften our body, but another way is to work directly with the nervous system. So you might look around the room. There's no point closing our eyes if we're really wanting to be checking things out. So let yourself go with what's here. You could hold your own hands, notice the warmth and support. What does your body need right now? And it doesn't have to be perfect in the sense of we don't have to be perfectly relaxed, but also the body could interrupt with signals sometimes. That would be okay, relatively speaking. When we're doing a practice, we could maintain a bit of awareness in the body. If there's a restlessness, for instance, in the arms and legs, you might do some shaking or stretching or allow that to release a little bit. So we don't have to have perfect conditions in the body in order for us to stand as a witness to what's going on, but not engage all of our attention in it. Notice what your experience is right now. My body is comfortable enough that I could let my awareness of my body move into the background. And notice your breath as well. Our body, the physical breath, and our physical body are so connected. As you're softening and becoming aware of your physical body, could you allow your breath to be smooth, continuous? Let your breath signal safety to your nervous system. As we breathe out, we soften our physical body. We're turning our breath and our body into an ally rather than an obstacle. Allow the breath to help us know that we're safe. It's okay for us to let our body move to the background. And it's this experience in the body and the breath that settles the nervous system, regulates the nervous system, and then the mind starts to be more regulated as well. And that's what we're really interested in a practice like this. Sometimes the mind really settles, we become very regulated. Other times we might have to be working more with the practice of letting all of that move to the background. One layer of the mind, in particular relating to the nervous system, is very interested in everything that's going on. It's very attracted to movement, in part because movement might signal something's changed, something's different, something I need to be aware of. So, that hypervigilance of the nervous system is very much connected to what's happening in that lower level of the mind. We're going to take a few deep breaths and step back into more an observation. What are you observing? And could you let the body, the breath, and the lower level of the mind move a little bit into the background? Is it safe enough to do that? Doesn't have to be perfect. And then when those move into the background, what's here? Bring to mind the most stillness you've ever experienced, the deepest spiritual connection you've experienced. And we're not bringing it to mind with an attempt to bring it back. We're just kind of bringing ourselves to that knowing again. There are times when my mind is very still, my body's relaxed. I know I am more than the experiences that I have. They're not separate from me. My body, my experiences, my nervous system, those are all part of me, and there's more. Right now, we're interested in focusing on the more. What else is here? There's the higher level of the mind, our wisdom, intuition. There's the witness. And when we bring our attention to witnessing, often we're witnessing and noticing what we're witnessing. And then we can also turn our eyes in the other direction. Who is it that's witnessing? Who is it that's aware of our experience? Notice that your mind might try to get engaged with that. All of that's normal, or your mind might be going back to something else. Just for a few more minutes, bring your attention away from the activity and into the deeper experience. Who is it that's here, witnessing and participating in my life? Who is it that never changes? Tune into that sense of being. Moving away from what we are aware of into awareness itself. What we're aware of is in the foreground. But what's in the background? What is it, or who is it, or how could we tune in with awareness itself? Continue to notice the stillness. Keep letting movement move out of your direct attention. Let stillness be your interest and your focal point for a moment. Go deep into your heart center, into your being, and rest there for a moment. Let yourself be aware of consciousness. And we can continue to notice what attracts our attention, what movement in the body and mind attract our attention. And notice who it is that's paying attention. What is aware of our experience? And then let all of that motion move to the background again. Focus more directly on awareness itself. And begin to become aware again of the movement, thoughts in the mind. Notice your breath, how your body moves with your breath. Notice when you open your eyes that you're bringing in visual input. And even with your eyes open, see if you can maintain a little bit of awareness itself, of your being, of that deep stillness in our spiritual heart.